following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
And welcome back to another episode of Tier Tuesdays here on the High-Low Sports podcast, where we go and take a random subject in sports and we throw it into a tier system, ranking from very, very high level to not so high whatsoever. Go all the way across the sports world and go and pick something and see what we can tier it into. Is DJ joined as always by my co-host Kelsey and Kelsey. Today we're going to do something that literally could be out from outside or inside the box.
Yeah, I mean, look, it depends on where you take it. I mean, for you, I guess it's outside the box for you. For me, it is right in my wheelhouse to discuss these things. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, the alternate uniforms for the NFL. We're going to kind of, because they haven't released all the uniform combos this year, we're going 2022 and 2023's alternates because they're probably going to reuse some that they used last year. And this year, there's a couple we just don't know about. So it's going to be super fun about it. I can't wait. This is one of my favorite, obviously, one of my favorite topics to talk about when it comes to sports are the jersey changes.
Well, time to unpack these things out of the box, and we will go ahead and get right into it now as we break out the tier system, as we have Chef's Kiss at the top. Pretty cool. Could have been better. Could have been worse. Just stop. Stop, pause, rewind, no more. Is my screen dirty, or are these just ugly? Then a couple of to be determines, just ones we're not 100% sure about yet. These are the ones we're kind of pulling from last year because they haven't quite released them yet. So we'll go and get started. We'll just throw the ones into TBD that we don't know yet. We'll just get those out of the way here really quickly because so we're looking at the Kelly Greens for the Eagles. By all means, it seems like that's what they'll be this year, but we'll have to wait and see as well. So We'll go and get a couple of these to be determined out of the way as well, then including those Oiler ones, which the Titans, they can wear them, but I still don't like it, but I digress.
Yeah, and the middle one being the Seahawks. We're just not sure what they're going to do with it for their throwbacks. They're obviously going throwbacks. They just could go 75. They could go early 90s, LaShawn Alexander style. Just kind of depends. We don't know which color scheme they're going with that. So those are the main TBDs. And then also the last one, the Denver Broncos. We know they're giving an alternate helmet. We don't know what it's going to be, whether it obviously looks white based off their social media posts, but we just don't know yet. Like, we don't know what they're planning on doing for this one. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting when they actually release that. But that's it for right now. No rankings for those guys. Just it is what it is.
You know what? After what they did last year, their alternate jerseys are the last of their concern. So we'll see what Denver comes up with for sure. But now we're going to go and get right into it. We're going to start right at the top. We got Arizona. I'll go and lead the way on this one. Arizona Buckeyes. I'm going to put them in stop. They're a little bit too much of Ohio State. They're okay, but it's just too close. And it just doesn't quite make a whole lot of sense. This one, it could have been a lot better, and it could have been worse, but I'm still going to go with stock because I think there's quite a few that I think are better than these ones.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think you hit the nose on the head right there. It is exactly Ohio State South. It bothers me looking at them, and now, mind you, this is their new set of uniforms that already have issues. But I do honestly like their new set a little bit better than their old set, just because I've seen it for so long. But this new black jersey, I mean, I'm just like, all right, well, hey. Can we try again? That's where I'm at with you. So I'm right there. I agree. Stop seems to be the consensus on that one. But that'll take us into Atlanta. Atlanta this year going with the red helmet with the black throwback jerseys. I'm just going to put them in. Could have been worse. Could have been better. It's one of those, like, we've seen them, so it's no surprise. They're going to have the gold piping along the black and white stripe on the top. They're going to have the old throwback Atlanta logo, basic black block jersey. I mean, there's just not a lot to it. And I'm kind of getting close to over this fad of black jerseys in the NFL. It's just kind of, I'm ready for it to move on. I want some more color rush back in my life.
You know what? That's fair as well. So I don't blame you at all there. So now we're going to move on to our next set of them as well, too. And I believe that is Baltimore that we have next.
Yep. Baltimore.
Honestly, when I look at them, I'm like, cool. They're very much could have been better, could have been worse. Like, they're pretty good. There's nothing really wrong with them, but they feel very, very similar to what they already had, honestly, as well, too. It doesn't have too much pizzazz to it. So we're going to put them in, could have been better, could have been worse. There's really nothing wrong with them, but for this particular tier, we're expecting a little spice on, a little pizzazz, a little something.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think these look really cool when they do the gold numbers with them, which is a special rare occasion. Usually they do it on the purple jerseys as well, which in itself does kind of look cool, an all purple jersey with the gold lettering. But now you have Minnesota doing that. So, and we'll get to them later, but Baltimore's just like, all right, again, I just said it about the all black jerseys. I'm good. for the most part, can we move on and try something different? So speaking of trying something different, I get the option to take the Bills all red uniforms, and they are supposedly breaking out the red helmet for these this year. And we all saw the mock-ups of the red helmets last year. Josh Allen wore them during practice. I'm going to give these pretty cool. I love the Bills in all red. I think it's a really cool look. I think it changes things up from where we see them usually mostly blue and white, occasionally a little red mixed in there. But I think the Bills rocking all red with a red helmet is the absolute dopest look for them. Now, it's not the best look I think I've seen in the NFL, but it is definitely one of the top 20 looks, I think. Top 15 looks.
I think it'll definitely be nice, especially if you pair them with the Eagles and the Eagles that they wore those greens, which we looked down there as well too. That green on Christmas Day, that's the perfect matchup if they can make that happen. But it's too good to be true. So next, moving on to Sweet Caroline, the Carolina Panthers. I like these ones a lot. I'm going to actually put them in pretty cool as well. I really like them a lot. I like the helmet. I think they look pretty sweet. Good for Bryce Young. You get to go out there in style. Not sure what all they'll do, but I like these uniforms a lot.
Yes, wholeheartedly agree. This is the exception to my commentary about black uniforms right now, because I love Carolina's black uniforms because of the color that goes with them, that bright blue, which, by the way, new color matching technology goes back to the color that the Panthers were originally. It's no longer just the closest thing that Nike had. So now they are a specialized Carolina Panther blue going forward. And that goes on all materials, all helmets, all jerseys, everything. So fun fact for everybody there that they get a little extra customization this year. They got the cool helmets last year, and now you get the special blue. And interesting enough, they're the only team in the league that can fix those little shoulder stripes and make them as wide or as small as you want. Personally, I like the wider look, but, just a fun fact for you.
I think pretty cool is a good spot for them for all those reasons. Not quite chef's kiss, but it's, the chef's proud of this one. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's safe. So I'm going to go with Chicago here. That's the all orange. So the orange helmets, orange jersey. They do use like white pants with them, which is where I hate it. I use the could have been better, could have been worse here, because I think they should go all orange. I just embrace it. Just call it swell, call it what it is, and go all orange crush. I know that's the old Broncos defense's nickname. I don't care. You know what? You were the Monsters of Midway, and I want to see you in all orange. I want to see the Monsters of Midway in all orange. So that's all it is. That's all I want. But until you can give me that, you're going to stay in could have been better, could have been worse. Just because the orange looks weird between players. Like each player has its own. Some of them look like a bright orange. Some of them look like the orange that's in this picture. Some of them look like a sort of mustardy orange. It's all weird. They never have the same orange every time.
They never do. It's always like a complete orange color palette too. It's like they just kind of threw them all out there. Everyone just picked one. They did not use the color correction tool very well. But next we're going to go to the Cincinnati Bengals, the white jungle, and I don't think there's anywhere else but chef's kiss for this one when it comes to the Bengals in the jungle. I think this one's pretty straightforward, as clean as it gets. They're almost doctor's office sterile how clean they are. They're absolutely fantastic. So I wish they'd wear these every week personally, but I know they can't. But these are some of my favorite ones.
I'm wholeheartedly agreeing with you. The only way they could make it better is if they inverted it and did it all black and white with the piping of orange. I think that would be so clean. Nothing like I do still like the stripes on the helmet being black and white, and no matter what. But no, when these came out, absolutely gorgeous. But that's going to take us to an in-state team with Cincinnati, who just decided and literally today released a brand new jersey set with a brand new alternate helmet. That is your Cleveland Browns going with the all white back into the 1940s for this look. So absolutely cool. And they're going to pair it with their throwback uniform. And you know what? I'm doing it. I'm putting him in chef's kiss. I love these. These look great. I have long complained about the Cleveland Browns jersey combinations being just all brown and orange. Nobody likes that combination. Use the white a little more, and they did just that. This looks fantastic. The orange is bright, and it pops. It looks so good. I really do like these. If you guys haven't checked out the pictures yet, go look at them. And cool little part about the helmet, the mask, it is brown in color, so it does actually match the Browns logos. So it's all Browns color, but it works perfectly because it's inverted from normal.
I think considering there are two in-state rivals with very similar-ish uniforms here, I think just week one they need to both wear them, and winner gets to keep them. The loser has to adjust at this point. That's the only way to do this fairly. But I love it. Both of them knocked it out of the park. They're so clean. I like them both a lot. So once again, week one, let them both wear it. Really test them on that one. Let's really test, but they'll go by the helmets, not necessarily the jersey colors in that game.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right, DJ, you got the Cowboys. What are you going to do with the Cowboys' white helmets?
There's not much you can do with them, honestly. Like they're clean, they're fine, but like there's only so much you can do. So I want to put them. It could have been better, could have been worse. Like they look good. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're not pretty cool or chef's kiss. They're just right. They're right in the middle. There's only so much you could do with the Cowboys color scheme, honestly. Like we'll see with a couple of these other ones too.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I do love the white helmet, and I do love the looks that come with it. But I haven't seen my favorite look, which is the blue solid chest with the white shoulders. That's my favorite look. That one hasn't been used since, early Tony Romo days, really. And that's my favorite look from by far. When they use the navy blue instead of that bright blue color, I like it a lot more. It just looks a lot better to me. So, yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I think Cowboys sit right here. Could have been better, could have been worse, because we just don't know the color combinations that go with it. Who knows with them? As long as it's not that stupid silver helmet with the American stripes on it, just because that America's team was a joke. Don't make it your thing. But anyways, I'm gonna stop now. Detroit Lions. I've always loved their gray alternates, the all gray alternates, and now they're adding this really cool kind of Motor City logo to it. I don't think they deserve chef's kiss yet, but I'm gonna give them pretty cool. I think they could have. Obviously with them having a gray helmet to begin with, it's like I love the all gray look. I would have liked this with an all Honolulu blue look instead, like because that special color they have in Detroit, it's Honolulu blue. Use it everywhere. I think that would be really cool. Even take a little bit of the ode from the Pistons over there, and maybe add the stripes like they have on the helmet to the jersey somehow. That would be really cool as well. But for right now, I'm going to go pretty cool just because the helmet is really cool and it goes with the really cool gray uniforms. But I just don't think they're going to be amazing, but I also don't. They're definitely not bad by any means.
Absolutely. I think that's the perfect fit for them. The grays are really clean. The blue's really nice. I want to see how they coagulate together, like on the field too. I'm curious how they're going to match up. So that's what I'm keeping on. But I like both of them individually. So I imagine together they should be pretty cool. Speaking of pretty cool though, that's where I'm going to toss these Packer ones as well too, because the yellow's a little obnoxious, but that's kind of the best way to have yellow, honestly. Like having a dark mustardy yellow would look kind of lame. So having the bright obnoxious yellow is the only way to do it, especially with the green. I kind of like it. It pops a little bit. It has a little vintage-ish feel to it. I like these ones as well too. They're very classic and very simple. So I kind of like these Packers ones. We're gonna roll with pretty cool.
Yeah, I like them when they wore it last year. The mustard, not the mustard, but the yellow helmet with it really brings honor to the name Cheesehead. And then going all green with the top and the bottom being all green. I think that makes a look. Having your piping and your numbers be yellow to go with that yellow helmet really does make it. I think it looks good. I know people were up in arms about it, but I actually kind of like the old throwback looks, the simple looks like that. When your team is so dual colored, I do like a simple look where it takes one of the colors and puts it in the forefront. So with Green Bay, they're always green and yellow. That's just what they are. So I do like setting aside a little bit of the yellow and bringing a little more of the green into the picture. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Pretty cool. Looks pretty good. But that'll take us to the Battle Red Houston Texans. Fun fact, they're wearing them 3 times this year to go along with their red jerseys. Problem with me, again, they use white pants. I need to see Battle Red pants. And that's what makes me put them in could have been better, could have been worse here. It is no different than the rest of the uniforms in a lot of ways. They use a red top with the white bottoms, and now they just throw a red helmet on top of it. I do like the red helmet a lot. I just hate that they don't do anything special with the rest of the uniform. That's my big problem with these. So could have been better, could have been worse, right there in the middle. I definitely don't say stop yet, but if they did an all navy look, then that's going in the stop. I'm getting tired of seeing the Texans in all navy. That's just, yeah, I'm done. Then again, I'm also almost done with the Texans designs to begin with too.
They've had some interesting ones. They got a lot of good colors to work with, but it feels like they never quite put them together the way that you'd always hope for. Like there always seems like they're a little bit off. But that's going to now take us to the Colts, and we're not spend a lot of time on this because their uniforms have looked the exact same for 60 damn years. They're pretty much the Cowboys, just a little bit different. So they're going to put it could have been worse, could have been better, because you can't really do anything with it. It's the same no matter. You threw an extra horseshoe on the helmet. Whoopity-doo. There's only so much you can do with these uniforms. So next, we'll just move on to ones more interesting.
Yeah, we'll go straight to the Jaguars. All black here for the Jags. Honestly, not the best look out of their entire color scheme, if I'm being honest. I like their all turquoise. I like their all whites better. With that being said, I think since this is their quote unquote alternate, I'm going to put it to stop. I'm tired of black uniforms. I like the idea of splashing some gold in there. You have it in your color palette, use it. But here we are, just black and white and a little bit of teal around the neck. So I'm going stop. I might. This one might be the one that I like catch some heat for. But to me, I just don't like their black uniforms as much as I like their white and their turquoise.
I get that too. I feel like when you have these alternates, you want it to be better than your actual color scheme. If you're going to go outside the box like that, and for them, it's not as bad. It just doesn't quite work as well as some of the other all black uniforms would. So I'm going to talk that makes sense for them. Next, we got the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, their jerseys don't look too much different. Like the shade of red's a little bit different, I guess, but I'm going to just stick them in. Could have been better, could have been worse, because it's kind of the same theme you're getting here. If there's not a huge difference, they're going to just get tossed in there. There's not a whole lot you could do with their color scheme either.
Yeah, I think it brings the yellow a little more forward, but then again, you start mixing too much yellow into that, and it just kind of I don't know. I've never really liked the Chiefs color scheme to begin with. Again, I like their all white uniforms, but I don't like their all red as much, just because you start bringing that yellow in there, and I don't like it as much. It just looks weird to me. But one that I do really, really like, and that's the LA Chargers. Their royal blues, which came from the Color Rush set, and then they're all navy throwback / new look. I love these. I mean, I really do love these. I'm gonna go towards the front of pretty cool. I'm not gonna give them Chef's Kiss because I don't believe they're Chef's Kiss. I still love their powder blues the best, but these are pretty cool still. I'm gonna put them right behind Buffalo. I just really like them.
That's a good spot for them. It's not quite the baby blues or the classic powders, like not quite those, but these are probably these are the next best thing. The Chargers them in Atlanta always seem to have the most fun when it comes to these jersey combinations, just because they have so many different unique colors to pick from. Speaking of a team that actually does have a good amount of colors to pick from, but did not use it here, we got the Rams. They're going in stop. I don't like this bone white. It looks kind of goofy. You have yellow, you have gold, you have blue, you could use gray. You have so many other colors, and for this one, it's just very bland. Even on looking at the picture, it's like parachute pants. It's a weird color. It's a weird form of white. So I'm not a big fan of these ones. They could have done so much better with all the different colors they have.
I'll be honest, you're being nicer than I am. I was honestly going to put them in, is my screen dirty or are these ugly? Just because they throw white on their shoulders as well. It's like through all that, they have that bone white gray color, and then they still use white on your shoulders. And it's like, why? Why would you do that to yourselves?
You know what? You've convinced me. Go and demote them. They're now the uglies. They're the ugly ducklings. Go and toss them.
It's just that's what it reminds me of. Actually, it's like a baby duckling that's just kind of gray colored and with all the white on it. And you're just like, gosh, you're kind of weird looking, man. I just don't like you much. And then it grows into a beautiful, goose or whatever, beautiful duck. I don't know how the story goes. Anyways, that's kind of how I feel about them.
Yeah, we're agree on that. But the next one, I don't know if these ones will be falling into the ugly category.
No, the Raiders with the silver. I love these. I also love the fact when the helmet, they use the silver helmet with the silver insignia. That's when it gets really cool. But basically, their generic version of it, I'm going to say could have been better, could have been worse. But this one definitely goes at the front of could have been better, could have been worse. I don't want to put them in a pretty cool. But if they chose to use a silver insignia with the helmet, or even use their rumored black helmet that's coming this year. Rumored, mind you. I haven't seen any announcement dates or anything for that, so I don't want to say too much, give too much more on that. But I think right now could have been better, could have been worse, just because they don't wear them enough. I think is the biggest problem, or they don't wear them right enough. If that makes sense.
Exactly. They have so much to work with there, but they always come up a little bit short. It feels like. Which, speaking of coming up short, we got the Dolphins next, and these uniforms aren't bad. They're not great, so we're sticking them where could have been better, could have been worse towards the back end of it, though. Probably, I'd say like they're fine. They're just, I don't know. They have a lot of better colors to work with. Like they could have gone with some all oranges that would look good. Like they have plenty of other colors I think would have popped better, or a different shade of the teal.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of like these a lot, but I will say, when you have such a bright color scheme to begin with, like your natural color scheme is bright. When you go back to these throwbacks that are darker and dimmer and kind of dingy looking, that's when I get a little questionable. But if they use these as their primary and then use the bright blue as as an alternate, that would change things a lot in my eyes. But they don't. So yeah, I'm right there with you. It could have been better, could have been worse. But that takes us to the Vikings. Purple and mustard yellow. Purple and mustard yellow. Purple and mustard yellow. Honestly, I'm going to go with pretty cool because I don't hate these. Just like the team right next to them, the Vikings in division rivals. I really do kind of like these. Even when they use the helmet that has the yellow stripes, just because they've been able to do that for years. They used to use them during the color rushes. I don't know if they still do it. But as of right now, I do like them. It's just something different. And again, when you take a team that's like the Vikings are, and they already have a lot of cool looks, but you change it up just a little bit. Like I said with the Ravens, if they added gold into the numbers, I do like them a lot more. So similar aspect here to the Vikings. Plus, watching Justin Jefferson run up and down the sidelines with his yellow arm sleeved and his yellow gloves and yellow cleats to go with these purple uniforms looks really cool.
Just gliding up and down, just gliding up so effortlessly, most definitely. Next, we got the New England Patriots, and I honestly don't hate these uniforms. As long as if they have a blue helmet, I think it's a very nice compliment. With blue, it'd be like red, white, and blue. I think it'd be very America. I'm going to toss them in pretty cool because I don't hate them. I kind of think they're okay and simple. They're towards the back end. I think as long as they have the blue helmet, it complements really well, and it's simple but effective compared to their basic normal blues and whites.
Yeah, so these are actually the ones that have the white Patriot Pete helmet on it.
You know what? They can go down. They can go down. It could have been better. Could have been worse. And I don't like that helmet as much. They can go towards the middle, like right there. If they would have the blue helmet, I'd like it a lot better. But these ones they could have been better then.
That's fair. I actually really do like the Patriot Pete look more so than all the other Patriots looks, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I like the all white version a lot better when they use the all white jerseys with the all white helmet. It just looks cleaner to me. Now we're gonna go to the Saints. These are a bunch of ain'ts because they just use a basic white jersey they always use, and then they throw a black and gold helmet on it. I'm going stop because there's nothing cool about this jersey at all. Like, it's just their basic jersey. Honestly, the Saints have some pretty cool jerseys. Their white jerseys with the gold on it look great. Black jerseys with gold and a black helmet like this absolutely would be fantastic, but they have yet to wear them. They have yet to submit that design. So it's always been the white jersey with the black numbers and the black helmet. And I just don't like that look. I think that look looks really kind of corny. So yeah, I'm going to go stop with the Saints here.
You know, that's fitting, and it kind of makes sense. They, once again, another team that has a very good set of colors to work with, but I don't think they never quite put it together. So next we got the New York Football Giants, and they're simple, they're basic, but we've loaded up. Could have been better, could have been worse. So I want to put them at the very front of stop. Like they're on the fringe right there. They just don't really do it much for me. They could be a little bit better, but they could be much worse. But that tier is already full, and I think they're the lower end of that tier, so they get tossed and stopped.
Yeah, this one weirds me out because they have three different color blues. They have their normal color blue on their pants. They have the bright blue of the throwback jerseys, and then they have the navy blue of their throwback helmets. So I just don't. I honestly don't like that many colors on this. I struggle with that with the Cowboys' natural color scheme. It doesn't look great for a lot of teams. Some teams can make it look good. I'm looking at you, Chargers. But for the most part, most teams do not make it look good. And the Giants are one of them. These are probably one of my favorite Giant looks, besides like if they wore their red jerseys again. Those were really cool. But I think this is, just stop is good enough for me. Now we're moving on to the Jets with the stealth black helmet with the green face mask, the black and green, all black green, jerseys with the green accents. These ones go to the front of pretty. They're going to the back of Chef's Kiss. Mostly because I started thinking about Sauce Gardner rocking those in the end zone, slapping down a pass, and I'm just like, yeah, that's what I want my corner to look like. So absolutely going to give them Chef's Kiss because in the picture is Sauce, by the way. I made sure I put him there. I absolutely love these for the Jets. I was going to put them at the front of pretty cool, but I mean, honestly, Chef's Kiss is really where they belong.
Interesting. They expectations both from Hard Knocks, from the offseason editions, and now from the jerseys as well. The expectations continue to fly. Let's go sky high for the Jets. So next we got Pittsburgh Steelers, and you know what? Excuse me. Sorry, that's because I'm kind of allergic to all of their uniforms. It clipped from the Bumblebees right down to these ones. So we're going to put these ones right and could have been better, could have been worse. There's at the very back end of it, though. Like, we're sticking these at the back end. They're meh. Just meh. That's all I got for them.
That's fair. I do like the Steelers with the block numbers like this. I don't like the Steelers with the basic black and yellow. I think they have some cooler designs. Again, I think a lot of teams can say that, but I like their all-white version of this better. You know, the white with the yellow pants and then the black block letters. I think that looks good. Yeah, I think the Steelers could do a lot, and they're rumored to break out their mustard yellow helmets this year. We'll see if that happens or if it happens next year. But I think if they could change something up there. Maybe it might look a little better. Who knows? Then we're going to the 49ers, who harken it back to the Steve Young, Jerry Rice days. I mean, these are the classic. They are what they are. I like the white jersey better, but again, I'm going to put them together as a whole as they're both of their alternates. Yeah, it could have been better, could have been worse. I mean, don't get me wrong, their basic jerseys aren't much different. They're literally the same jerseys without the silhouette, except for they changed the 49er font. So nothing really crazy here except for the all white and then the shadow box around the numbers. That's really it.
It's very, very simple. It works for them. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel, so it's okay, but they're not going to get any chef's kiss today. So next we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneer creamsicles. We're not going to waste that. Let me just get that little dirt off my screen. No, wait, that is their jersey. So they are going in that bottom tier. They're kind of gross. They weren't good then. They're not good now. I just not a fan. I'd rather they went with like the black alternates or some different red alternates. Like they're another team. They have so many different cool colors you could work with. You could play off the Buccaneer flag. And instead we have to look at the uniforms that literally cause people to put bags over their heads for years. So not a fan. Those ones, they can stick in the bottom.
I'll be honest. I love the creamsicle design. Hate watching how Tampa Bay puts it together. I just don't know what it is. You can even see it a little bit in this logo. The orange on the pants always looks red. And it always bothers me because you have a creamsicle top, you have a white helmet with a creamsicle face mask, the creamsicle logo on the side, but yet you have red on the pants. It's always bothered me, and it will forever bother me. And I agree. I think these belong in the dirty, or are these ugly? Yes. That's basically it. That's going to take us to the final one. Ignore the last two. They were the old Browns logo, and then now the new Browns one got double uploaded. So ignore those two. We're going here to the Commanders, Washington football team, or whatever they want to call themselves nowadays. The black jersey. I think these look too much like the Steelers, and I'm going to put them in stop. I think this is just the Steelers ripoff. You literally took Cordero Stewart's jersey from back in 2004, 2003, whenever he was playing quarterback, and you put it on an all black uniform. And on top of all that, the helmet has a W square in the forehead. Are you trying to promote bad football? Like, I don't get it. It doesn't look good to me. I honestly like they're all maroon jerseys. Those are kind of better look for me. All white jerseys with the red, I think, are a better look to me. I'm going to put them in stop.
Honestly, the only thing worse than their uniform designs has probably been the drivers in Maryland. But other than that, it's a very mad jersey. I agree with that one too. It's a bit of a letdown. So for those of you watching, this is our Tier Tuesdays for the alternate uniforms for the upcoming NFL season. Let us know which ones we got right, which ones you like, which ones you might be getting for yourself, and which ones you think are just absolutely hideous. We appreciate y'all joining us. Be sure to check us out on the podcast on Wednesday at 8 p.m. for the live cast, or on anywhere you like to catch your favorite podcast afterwards. We will see you all next time.